Hello and welcome to the Radical Hospitality Show. Today, a little special episode. I'm going to do a quick 15-20 minute episode. I get a lot of questions from young entrepreneurs about how and where to get started. My advice usually is to look at house hacking. I'm going to share how our family turned a small $7,000 initial investment and then over time, putting in hard work and putting in additional equity and cash, turned a $70,000 investment into about $1 million worth of equity through time and hard work. It's not flashy. It's not the overnight story of success. It's not the guru to go out and buy 20 units and become $1 million overnight. I believe a lot in the power of just consistency and working hard in the same direction. There's a great book. It's called Everyday Millionaire by Chris Hogan. And it talks about this idea of blue collar and white collar workers that have consistently saved, invested in their own home and in stocks and all of those things and built up equity over time. I don't think that your home is the only place that you should be investing in real estate. And I don't believe that stocks or other, get rich quick schemes are the way to go either. But I do believe in consistent hard work. Maybe this is a piece that you could be doing on the side while you're working on building your business. You can also be working on, developing outside of your personal residence. But I do believe it's a great place to build long-term wealth and equity. So let me walk you through a little bit about what we did. So in 2012, we bought a little foreclosure property right up here in Indian Hills. And at the time, it was a little cabin up in the woods. Yeah, this was the little cabin, 800 square feet, foreclosure. This was out in the woods. We came in, we started taking down trees and putting in, a new garage and studio just right away. And made a little homestead for us to live in. That was in 2012. When we bought the property, we paid $130K for the property. And then we also borrowed $100K to do an addition and some repairs on the property. And so all in for the Inca property, using a $203K loan, we borrowed $230K. And then this is what we designed and added on to the little cabin. So you can see the little cabin in the background. And then we added on about 800 square feet for a nice new living room, dining room, and kitchen. At the time, we didn't have enough money to build out a basement. So we just built the thing up on stilts, did a nice deck on it. And that was really our home for 10 years. As our family grew, we needed more space, and eventually we would take off this chimney and do a small addition off the back. Built that ourselves, and that was probably another $5K. And then in 2020, we also finished out the underneath side and built out a studio. So we put in another $50K for the studio. And so all in, we were 230 plus 50, 285 in terms of cash, and 285 into property. For the loan here, initially we borrowed using the 203K, 3% down, and that was $7,000-ish. All right, so that was kind of step one. Once we got the work done on this, and last year we had this appraised and then appraised at $800K for us to do a HELOC. And so our mortgage on it currently, after 10 years of paying on this, is $150K. So our equity on the property is $650K. So with a $7K investment, $55K along the way, savings and paying down some mortgage, we're at $650K in equity. So then the next thing that we did is we bought the piece of property that was across the way. And so this was a thick wooded area, and we initially did a plan for a large house here. We actually did some clearing here, and we priced this out in 2022 maybe, and we're going to build this house. This came out in the peak of COVID. It was way more expensive than what we wanted to spend. Probably I think it was about $800K for 2,500 square feet. Now that's probably a little bit more reasonable, but at the time that was more than what we were willing to spend, especially for real property. So what we decided to do was a smaller build to go ahead and get started. So we designed out this 500 square foot treehouse with a patio. We put a hot tub down in here and created a cool little short-term rental. So there's our cool little treehouse. We've been renting this out for 2 years now. It does about $100K gross a year, and net after we pay property manager, Airbnb, all those expenses, we net about $25,000. So not bad for a little 500 square foot house. The other cool thing out of this is, so let's go back to this, and so we put $100K down cash for the property, and then we borrow $320K to build the treehouse. So all in, you're at $420. So this appraised recently at $600K. So we've got a $320K mortgage. So that puts us at $280K for our little homestead build. So $280, $650, $930K equity off of those two little builds. And then next, so we got the equity in this land at $280K. We're going to get ready to put this in. Now it's been cash flowing for a couple of years, and we can borrow against this. And so we're going to borrow against the equity that we had in the land now and come back and build that third house. So now it makes a lot more sense to come in and build this. We won't have to put more cash down, so turn that $100K investment into $300K equity. And so there's enough equity now that we can go in and borrow against that, and it will be able to build out larger single family. And that will easily generate another, 150 to 200K in equity. And so you can see how that will get you well over $1 million plus in equity. So again, just taking the long path, putting on a tool belt and getting things done. Built out the first house, cute little cabin, added on that cool addition, came in underneath, built out a studio. Then we went and bought the tree house next door, or the lot for the tree house, built out a cool tree house, everybody's dream project, put in a hot tub so we get to go over and soak in our own hot tub. And then project 3 will be our new custom build. And I think what we'll end up doing is taking this original design and putting a studio up on top. We're going to call that the Eagle's Nest. And then our original house that we live in currently, we're going to turn this into 2 rentals. And so we'll take that $7K investment. We will have created 2 rentals, 1 short-term rental, and then a new $1 million residence. That's our story. If you are thinking about where to get started, the best places in your backyard and just to get started. If you are thinking about your dream project, maybe have a little, maybe have a lot to start with. Real estate's not easy, but it is the best long-term investment. If you have a dream that you're interested in, we'd love to help. Give me a call, set up a ring, and let's take a look, see if we can help you create your dream legacy project.